Welcome to good day to all. Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about the timing diagram of 8085 microprocessor. So before going into the timing diagram lecture, we need to refresh some of the concepts which we have learned in the 80 microprocessor course. Basically, the execution of instructions in any microprocessor will have the following steps: opcode fetch, instruction decode, execution, memory read or write, or input output read or write. So the instruction is being fetched from the processor is depending upon the architecture of that particular processor. So the 8085 have one Neumann architecture. Since 8085 is having one Neumann architecture, to have the data and the instruction memory are outside the processor. So the opcode is have to be fetched from the instruction memory. So after fetching the opcode, it is stored in the program counter. So from the program counter, it has been decoded by the instruction decoder. So after decoding, the control signals will be generated, and depending upon the control signals, the execution cycle will be done. So after execution cycle, the output of the particular instruction is being stored by the memory read or input output read cycles. So these are all the basic cycles in the execution of the instructions in 8085 processor. So the execution is done in 8085 processor by this diagram. It has been explained by this diagram. So here, after getting the instruction fetch and the decoder, the instruction which is the address which is present in this particular program counter is supplied to the memory by the address bus. So this is the first step. So after supply of the address, the memory will fetch the data, and consequently, when this control logic by the address decoder and the instruction decoding operation, so the control logic will generate this particular read control signal. So after this particular read signal is supplied to this particular memory, so the memory will give the particular data which is relevant to the particular address. So after the supply of the data, this data is traveled through the data bus to the internal data bus, and this internal data bus will be the data in that particular internal data bus will be fetched by this particular ALU, and the operation will continue. After that, the data will be written back to the memory. So as we have seen the process of the particular microprocessor operation, from that particular introduction, we need to draw the timing diagram for each and every operations which are done in the microprocessor. So that is as the first step. We need to know what is the basic clock cycle. So the microprocessor inherently have the frequency of 6 megahertz, and the particular input cycling is given, that is the crystal oscillator will input the frequency of 6 megahertz, and it has been divided by the particular internal divider into the 3 megahertz. So the particular dividing operation is done by presented here as this particular diagram. You can see that the this clock cycles have the signals, the waveform of like this. So why this waveform is being slightly slanted means it is having the voltage rising by a definite slope. So if you are having the diagram, that is the waveform as square wave means the change of the input voltage from 0 to 1 is abrupt. So whenever the signal voltage is changed abruptly, the processor hardware cannot behave properly. So in order to have the proper operation of the microprocessor hardware, we need to have the clock cycle as a slanting one. So that's why the particular clock cycle is drawn on all the microprocessor timing diagrams as slanting ones. Here you can notice that this is the one slanting edge, and this is another slanting edge. So this first edge is going to be the rising edge because it is rising from the 0 to 1, and this particular edge is called as trailing edge. So this particular edge is going to be trailing edge. Why? Means it is trailing from the 1 to 0. So likewise we can draw the clock cycle of the particular signal of a microprocessor. Here this is the input given to the LC oscillator or crystal oscillator. So after some delay, this delay is inherently done by the microprocessor. So after the delay, the clock signal will be generated. So the clock signal having 0 to 1 transition, the rising edge transition. After that, the one state will be pertain, and after some time of the particular input clock cycle, after the delay of some delay, the trailing edge will be followed. So this is how the basic clock of a particular microprocessor is being generated. You have to notice one thing, that this is a particular clock cycle. So in this particular diagram you can notice the time period of this particular clock cycle. So this is the time period of a particular clock cycle. Time period of the clock cycle is consist of low and up, that is low and high. So if one cycle containing a low cycle and the high cycle, then it is going to be a one T cycle, that is called as one machine cycle. Yes, one machine cycle. So after for each and every machine cycle, we will be having one low and one high. So the basically the machine cycle are divided into the three parts. That is the opcode fetch, or read or write. So depending upon the value, depending upon the cycles which we are having in our basic cycles of the execution of the instructions, we are having the opcode fetch and the memory read or write signals. So other cycle, that is other steps of the cycle, are inherently being multiplexed into the particular cycle. So you can see that the instruction decode and execution are multiplexed inside the opcode fetch itself. So we will be seeing in the upcoming slides. And the memory read or write, input output read or write, are multiplexed in different separate cycles. So you can say the opcode fetch as a one cycle, memory read or memory write as a one cycle, input output read, input output write as one cycle. So you will be having four 5 different kinds of basic cycles, namely the opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write. So these are all the 5 basic cycles that we need to go through in the timing diagram. So as a basic read or write cycle, we are having the basic read cycle, write cycle as such here. Here you can notice one thing, that the basic read cycle and write cycle having 3 T cycles. So so here we have seen this as the T cycle. Since this is the timing cycle, so this one low and high is going to be called as T cycle. Each memory read, each memory write signals having 3 T cycles. So one read machine cycle have 3 T cycles. One write machine cycle have 3 T cycles. So how to draw this particular T cycles means, we are having one low and one high. It is first T cycle. One low and one high as second T cycle. One low and one high as third T cycles. So here you will be supplying with an address, and you will be having an address of 8 and 8 bytes. So 8 and 8 bits. So you will be having 16 bit address. So you will be supplied with lower byte of the address bus through this particular A0 to A7. AD0 to AD7, and you will be supplied with the higher order of the address bus through A7 to A8 to A15. So this particular segregation is controlled by the ALE signal, and here you will be supplied with a read or write signal. So here you can notice that address is being supplied from the beginning of the T1. So here the opcode fetch and decode and execution cycle are done in the beginning of this particular T1 itself. So at that time the address is being supplied from the processor. So here the first part is going to be the ALE signals width. Here it is being noticed. Here another one period is supplied with is the TLE, that is the address hold time after ALE. So after ALE you have to the particular microprocessor have to hold the address for some time. So that timing is going to be called as the address hold time after ALE. So after this particular time period, the particular lower order byte is being supplied up to this particular period. So that period is up to T1 cycle only. So after T1 cycle, the higher order byte is being supplied. So after T1 cycle, there will be some stalling between the T1 and the T2 cycle in the particular lower order byte. So after some time, the particular lower order byte is being stalled up to the T1 cycle. So in that T2 cycle you will be supplied with the higher order byte only. So this lower order byte can be retrieved from the particular holding of the particular ALE signal. So ALE signal has been off, has been set off before this particular TLA time. So after that you will be supplied with the data. So whatever the data you need to read is being supplied from that particular data memory. So this particular stalling time. So here you can notice that this particular stalling time is utilized by the memory chip in order to getting the particular chip. So this you can call it as a waiting cycle in the particular read cycle. So here there in the write cycle also the same thing is going to be supplied. So here we have supplied with some of the main we have note there some of the main time periods which we need to know about the particular write cycle, write or read cycle. So I don't want to much going into the particular details of this particular diagram. So we don't need when we are drawing with the timing diagram. So this particular TCLK and this particular TLA and TLL and TCL. So what TCA means address valid after control. So this particular valid time period is have to be maintained within the T3. So this kind of minute notifications cannot be maintained when we are drawing with the timing diagram. So in order to know only I have put this slide to get some idea about the particular diagram. So you don't need this particular slide when you draw the diagram. So you have to know. That's why I have put this slide. So the bus cycles basically can be segregated into opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write. So here we have given some control signals, input output per memory bar, S1 is 0. The number of machine cycles have been given and the control signals have been given. So when we are having the opcode fetch, we will be having the number of machine cycles as 4. Memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write having each 3 for them machine cycles. You can notice that the particular status signal or the control signal for opcode fetch, since this particular opcode fetch is a memory cycle, we need to supply with this particular control signal as 0, and S0 S1 having 1 1, and for memory read we will be having the memory operation. So this also going to be 0. Since this is read, you are having 0 1, and since you are having write, you will be having 1 0. So you have to just notice that this is S0, this is S1. So I am reading from here to here. That is for opcode fetch it is 1 1. For memory read it is 0 1. Sorry, for the read you are having 0 1. For write you are having 1 0. So you can notice here also this is read, this is also read. So you are having 0 1 and 0 1 here. This is write and this is also write. You are having 1 0 and 1 0 here. So you have to notice these things, and you can notice another thing that memory is here. So you will be having this particular input output by memory bar signal as 0 0 here, because these two signals having the memory cycles and these two signals having input output cycles. So you will be having with 1 1. So this is how you can memorize this particular table. You can know about this table. So you need to memorize these kind of things. So you just notice the particular concept, that is okay. So here another one table is being given. Here you can notice that the particular machine cycles are given here. T1, T2, T3, T4, T5 and T6 are given. Some wait signals and the reset time are also given. You can notice one thing that the timing cycles we are depending upon the whichever machine cycle we are having. So here you will be having the opcode fetch as 4 machine cycles. So you may be having some cycles, some initial cycles for this particular opcode fetch operation. You can notice that the first opcode fetch operation having the T1, at the time of T1 cycle you will be having the ALE, and you have to read some data. So you need to have this particular read and write as 1, you may be having some interrupt also, so you can be supplied with one. So here also one, others are being stalled. Okay, so for the T2, since you have been supplied with the ALE, so you will be supplied with particular AD0 to AD7 and A8 to A15. So your address is being supplied. So after that, the particular stalling operation after some ALE period. So that particular stalling operation is done in the T2 cycle. So you can notice here some after the ALE some stalling operation. So after the in the T2 cycle also you will be having this particular stalling operation. So that's why we are having this particular ALE is 0 and other signals are going to be as into mark. Here you will be having the memory reading of chip is done here. So after some period the wait state may also been done. So the T2 and T wait can be merged cycles, so we can either you can use this or this. After you will be having the T3, so T3 also having the same particular status, and for the T4 you will be having either memory read or memory write. So in this particular period, so this particular read and write operations are going to be stalled. So you will be supplied with one, and interrupt acknowledgement has also been one. So since they are all active signals, so you will be supplied with one, means these signals are going to be got off. So the ALE is also going to be 0, means that you will be supplied with the particular address and the data, and that data is going to be got from the particular cycle, and you will be supplied with the read or the write. So this read and write will give the data into the memory or from the particular memory. So these kind of operations are done in the T4, T5 and T6 operations. So this is about that particular operations. So that same thing is being given in this particular diagram. So if you are having that opcode fetch, you will be having 4 T cycles. So the each and every T cycles having the low and high of the clock. So you can draw this, and after that, after clock you have to draw the address lines. First you have to draw the higher part of the address line and the lower part of the address line, and you have to draw this ALE. So after drawing this, you have to give the control signals and read or write signals. So this is the convention which we need to notice when we are you have to draw when you are having the timing diagram. So for opcode fetch you will be having 4 T cycles. So the first higher order address having higher order memory address for up to T1 to T3, you have to supply all the memory address into the particular operation, and for T4 you need to specify this is unspecified, because at this time of operation you will be having the fetching operation. So practically speaking, this fetching operation having the address bus into the action, the data bus into the action. So you don't need this particular higher order address of the particular address bus. So in that T4 cycle only we need to supply with this particular unspecified. Here you may be noticing that here some gap is being supplied with this particular T4 cycle. So why you are supplying with this means you will be having some of the delaying operation against this particular things. So you need to give that particular delaying operation into the timing diagram. So that's why we have been drawn with this particular things. While we are seeing about the lower order address, so the lower order address have to be draw up to this particular T1 cycle. So when we are having the T2 cycle, you will be having the stalling operation. So this stalling operation have to be kept in the mind, and the opcode which we got from the particular memory is supplied this particular AD0 to AD7 only. So your opcode have to be drawn. So while you are drawing this particular AD0 to AD7, you have to keep in mind that ALE have to be kept into mind. So when you are supplying the ALE, this ALE is an active low signal. So whenever you are having this particular active low signal as high, this particular AD0 to AD7 will be supplying the address. When this particular ALE signal is low, then this particular AD0 to AD7 have to supply with the data. So that's why we are having this particular ALE signal as low when the particular AD0 to AD7 having supplying with this particular opcode value. So at this time you have to draw this ALE as low and AD0 to AD7 as opcode. So the control signal which we are having here is S0, S1 having the operation of opcode fetch. So opcode fetch having S0, S1 as 1, 1. So you will be supplying with that particular control signal. Input output bar, memory bar. Since this particular opcode fetch is going to be memory operation, you need to specify that this particular input this as a memory operation, so you need to supply with this 0. Here you are having the reading operation of the particular opcode from the memory, so from the address memory, so you need to have this particular reading cycle from the period of this particular opcode. So you need to have this particular RD as a active low signal, so you will be having this low part when we are supplying with this particular opcode. So this particular opcode have to be low, particular read cycle as low up to the supply of the opcode. So when we are coming for the memory read or input output memory read cycle, you will be having the machine cycles as 3. So 3 machine cycles we will be having.